Hey everyone, it's Ann from What's Up Homestead, and I'm not feeling the greatest today, so I'm just going to bring you along, do a what's for dinner. We're going to have meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and broccoli and cheese. So I'm mixing up this meatloaf. I've already did a video on it, so I'll link the recipe below, but I have 2 pounds of ground beef, 15 crackers crushed in the bottom, 1/4 cup of ketchup, 2 beaten eggs, 1/2 cup of onion, 1/2 cup of bell pepper, a teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to mix it up and put it on my pan. This is a really easy meatloaf and it's really good, and I've only made it this way the last 3 or 4 times. I watched someone on YouTube make it, and I make it the same way, except I don't put any spices in there. I think it called for marjoram and thyme, and I'm not really a big fan of those things, so I just put some onion powder in there. I didn't have quite 1/2 cup of onion, so I just put more onion powder in there. That was some really greasy meatloaf. It took me 5 minutes to wash my hands. So I'm going to put it on this pan. This is just lined with aluminum foil, and I've got some parchment over the top. I used to use aluminum foil all the time, but now I don't like to use it. I don't like for my food to touch it, so I buy the parchment paper and I'm putting that on there just to use as a barrier. So I'm just going to take it out and I'm just going to form it into a loaf. I used to put it in a loaf pan, but I don't like that. I like the free form and just making it out like this. That way it doesn't stew in the grease. And it looks like this is going to have a lot. So I'm glad I completely covered this pan with foil, because I know it's going to make a mess if I don't. And I don't want to have to scrub the pan too much. Right, so I'm going to put this in the oven for about 35 minutes, and then I will take it out and put ketchup on it and put it in for another 10 minutes. Okay, I'm just going to peel. I think we're just going to peel 4 potatoes since we're the only ones here, just 2 of us. And Doug's in there getting our floor put down, so maybe we can get our house put back together sometime this weekend. It's been a crazy week. He's been off trying to get everything done, and Jackson just will not let him do any work. So he's basically been watching Jackson the whole time he's been on vacation instead of getting any work done. So he's trying his best to get that floor in tonight. So I want to get him a good meal going since he's been working all day. So I'm going to get these potatoes peeled, and I'm going to start on the broccoli and get that out of the refrigerator. I had it in there. It's from the garden, and I'm hoping it's still good. I just haven't had time to deal with any of those vegetables in there in my refrigerator. So hopefully I can get some broccoli salvage from it. Hopefully it will still be good and I can get some broccoli and cheese made. While the oven's on with the meatloaf, I thought I would go ahead and make up some muffins for in the morning or maybe after dinner for a snack. I'm just using the Martha White Blueberry, and I'm using 2 packs, so you would put in a cup of milk and just stir it up. I mean, it couldn't be any easier. I always like to have a few of these on hand. I have the banana nut, and those are good too, but I thought this would be a different change of pace from that. So I'm not going to mix it up too much, but I have a pan over here. And I sprayed it with coconut oil, and I don't know if I'll have enough to fill the whole thing. And hopefully I won't get it everywhere. But this is a non-stick, so I don't use those little papers, because I think the half of the muffin sticks to the pan, or sticks to the paper. I don't want to fill them too full. Okay, I got 10 out of 12. That's not too bad. Clean up my mess. It's 400 degrees for 14 to 16 minutes. This is on 350, so I'm just going to keep it there, and I'll just probably cook it just a little bit longer. I don't ever go by the package directions anyway. I don't preheat my oven. I just throw it in there. So I'm going to put this in there with the meatloaf. Okay, I've got my meatloaf in the oven. It's got 19 minutes left. I've got my potatoes cooking, and I did not like the way the broccoli looked, so I tossed that in the compost, and I'm making some corn, and we will have that. I was going to have some green beans. I almost popped them in the microwave, but I forgot that our microwave broke. Jackson slammed the door just a little bit too hard, so we had to go to Lowe's today and get a new one, so hopefully we can get that one in tomorrow. Okay, it's been 30 minutes, and I'm going to put ketchup over the top. I hope it don't squirt out at me. It's not the most attractive meatloaf right now, but it's going to be very, very, very tasty. It's probably the last bit of ketchup. Let me go ahead and see if that's going to be enough. I like a lot of ketchup on mine. Looks like it's going to be enough. I've got some more in there in case it's not. But I'm just going to coat the top. And I'm going to put it in there for another 15 minutes. It looks like it kind of cracked a little bit at the top. This was ground beef from Aldi, and it was really greasy. And I drained a lot of it off. So now I'm just going to, think that'll be good. And I'm going to put it back in the oven, and it should be time for the muffins to be taken out. Oh yeah, they're perfect. So, I'm going to let those cool. I'm going to get my potato masher and mash those up. And I've got the corn back there ready. So, 15 minutes and we'll be ready to eat. That's dinner. Mashed potatoes, meatloaf, corn, and for dessert some blueberry muffins, and they'll be good for in the morning too. We're both not feeling the greatest, so I'm going to eat and put on my pajamas and watch some Christmas movies. So I'm going to have a good night. So I will see you guys tomorrow.